On February 19th, Jeff Jarrett is announced for the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh,
Walk
Jeff.
through about how you found out, when you knew, and what all went into having Jeff brought back into the WWE fold.
Yep, I got a phone call from Talent Relations, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to induct Jeff into the Hall of Fame." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And they said, "We're going to ask him, but we hope he says you induct him." I think that's how it went anyway. You'd have to ask Jeff that. But I remembered he called me. I'm trying to think where I was in a mall somewhere where I'm not from, because I just remember walking around and he called me, or I called him. I don't remember which, but it was like, now we could kind of talk to each other and go, "Am I inducting you?" And I said, and he was like, "Yeah, well, yeah." And so it was a very cool thing for me, because like I've said many times, there ain't much real in this industry. But when your name comes up in that conversation, creative leanings or not, that's a pretty cool conversation for you to have your name come up in a Hall of Fame of your peers voting too. You know what I mean? Your not your peers, but the people that are around you get to nominate you and nominate people. And I know there's people that they don't like or whatever, but that's your problem. The problem, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's one of the most realest nights in professional wrestling, the Hall of Fame. Anyway, I think it gets a bad rap.
And I also don't mean to, when I say this, I don't mean to disparage the Hall of Fame, because I've been to many of those nights and they're awesome nights. And I think you see the wrestler as a person more, but it's also an event. And like you said, just on wrestling, it's a made up thing. And whoever we bring in is who we decide to bring in.
Yeah.
It's not baseball where if this guy bats 300 for his career and has 500 homers, we got stats to do it.
Right.
It's who do we want in the Hall of Fame?
And it's also, look, a lot of intricacies go into making the decision. Where's it at? Who's somebody famous from there? Is somebody has been on the roster from there? You know what I mean? Excuse me. My dad did the Atlanta. You know what I mean? My dad was inducted in Atlanta, and I think that's perfect. That's where my dad, I think, had the most of his fame. And so I thought that was great. Jeff, where did we do Jeff? Jeff had global fame, so I don't think it mattered. But where did we do it still? It matters to me.
We'll get to that.
Come on, Marcus.
One of our New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's because me and Jeff spent so much money 1 month. I
don't think Lash LaRue was available that year, but he would have. Next time we're in New Orleans, we got to get Double L in.
Yep.